Welcome, everyone, to This Week at Little Hills Church. This past year, we have decided to go through the New City Catechism. Right now, we are on question 17. Question 17 asks this question here. What is idolatry? I think we all know what that is, but we're going to go review it. Sometimes we really need to be reminded of things that we already know or things already heard before, just to kind of refresh our memory. But idolatry is trusting in created things rather than the Creator for our hope and happiness and significance and security. Boy, yep. So how black and white can we make this? How it's just like hits you right there. Sometimes I just feel like just stopping and not moving any farther. But I I really like the verse that they tag along with this, because there's no other greater than this, but this verse hits it key on right there. It's in Romans 1:21 and 25, but I like the stuff in between because it kind of builds up and helps you really to understand why idolatry is wrong. And it's even part of one of the 10 Commandments also. So I'm going to start with Romans 1:21, and I'm going to read a few verses there, and then we're going to explain it a little bit. Okay, Romans 1:21. It says this. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, for they became fertile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. 24. Therefore God gave them up in their lust of their hearts to impurity, to dishonoring of their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worship and serve the Creator rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. I mean, we can go on, and it gets a little bit more harsher with everything, and talking about how we give up our own selves to our own flesh, or we give up things to other things that God created, and we start worshiping that and not worshiping God. You know, for example, this might be my comfort here. This must be what God. Some people, we all have a comfort. If I took this teddy bear and this was my teddy bear, and forever I would trust in it. It'd be my comfort when I come home. When I'm sad, I know I can go to my teddy bear and I'll get all my comfort from it. Yeah, I know, we can really, like Jim, you're getting kind of silly with this, but really, I mean, as a kid it's okay, but as adults, what do we take our comfort in? Do we take our comfort in music, making sure the music makes us right, or do we take our comfort in asking God, help me through this? I'm really having a rough time here, Lord, and what can I do? And then he can show us. But it's, what are we going to first? What does your mind go through first? What does your heart have? What isn't? There's a couple commentaries that go along with this, and one is from Martin Luther. And it says, what is it to have a God? To have a God is your highest esteem in life. What is your highest esteem in life? What do you crave for the most? So what is one's God? One's God is what you create the most. Like I said, to have whatever we look for, any good thing for our refuge in everything, in every need. That's another quote from Martin Luther. There's a lot from Martin Luther here. Another one is, the evidence for this appears when people are arrogant, secure, and proud because of such possessions, but despise it when the lack of them or lose them. Oh my gosh, I lost my car. What am I going to do with such a great car? I had this great house. Look at my house. Oh, it's so lovely. And, all their efforts into this. I got to work real hard because, I want all these nice things in life. What are you worrying about? Heavenly things or earthly things? We're all supposed to strive for kingdom thoughts and kingdom things. It is difficult to go out through the day and do that. I mean, we get caught up in so many things. We listen to TV commercials, we see advertisement, billboards. It all makes us think what's pleasing us. That's why it's important to ask yourself, what am I idolizing right now? Do I only have to listen to special speakers in order to feel righteous before God or in order to hear Him? You got to ask yourself that. Another thing from Martin Luther is questions and exploring your own hearts thoroughly, and you will find out if it embraces God alone or not. That's a good thing. Seek your heart. See what's going on this week. There's nothing wrong with, I encourage everybody to take an inventory of your heart. What are the priorities in your life? And it's so easy now that we think about, I want to put all these biblical things. But honestly, what was your priorities yesterday before you heard this? That's what we need to look at. Yes, there's a lot of things that sometimes I catch myself also doing too. But we need to try to strive for what is right before God. Timothy Keller's reminds us that our last catechism answer showed us that sin is rejecting God, rejecting for who He is, and not treating God as God and not giving Him the honor that is due to Him. And that's when we start treating other things like worshiping, nature, worshiping animals, worshiping, pretty sceneries more than what we would ever worship God and pay attention to God for. It's hard. It's black and white stuff. And I'm so happy for God's grace and mercy through all this, because He realized we're not going to do it all the time. But yet, the idea of just keep going, pressing forward, working better to become more sanctified with Christ and what He has for us. So, we're going to discuss this more on Sunday night at Sunday School Express. And it's right after our 5:30 church service, and it usually starts about real close to 7 p.m. And it's online too, also, if you can't make it live. But I just want to encourage you to come, listen online. And as we discuss this question more in detail, and it's very encouraging, it's fun, I enjoy it a lot. So let's just bow in the word of prayer, and I hope to see you Sunday night, or maybe this encourage you to maybe start the new year seeing where are your idols, and killing them and making sure that Christ is number one in your life. All right, let's bow in prayer. Thanks. Creator God, thank you for all the wonderful things you've done in my life. Lord, thank you for your Son. Thank you for your grace that you give upon us. Lord, help me to understand to always to worship you in all that I do. Lord, that no person or thing should be my hope and my trust, which I know a lot of times all of us struggle with a lot. We trust other people for our happiness. Lord, you alone are self-existing and all-sufficient. May you be with me all the time. May I always have you in my first thoughts in all that you do. May we glorify you. May in all that we do, may we glorify you. Amen. Thank you, and look forward to hearing you next time.